Today I want to talk to you about the thing we all hate. Revision. Revision is terrible, and especially at this time of year, everyone's doing exams. No matter what year you're in, GCSEs are obviously a little more important than end of year summer exams. Anyway, everyone's getting up to that point where you've got exams the next few weeks. What's the best way to tackle so many exams? And I'm especially talking to GCSE students here, some of which have like 10 subjects they have to cover, which is coming on like 20 exams, which is a lot of exams. But it's the thing you got to do, and we've all got to do it. So what is the best way of tackling both your revision and your GCSEs? Well, today I'm going to be telling you a few ways you can make the most of the next couple of weeks over your exam period to really get your revision kicking in and giving you the best grade you can possibly have. And the whole technique I'm going to be talking about is smart revision, which, yes, it sounds cheesy, but it does work, and I know from experience it works. Instead of what most people do, and what schools would get you to do just because it's easier for them to teach you in this way, is tell you to do past papers. That's really good, but if you open one of these past papers and actually look at it, once it's been marked, of course, you get a few questions which are incorrect. You've got red bits on them. But because you've been doing so many past papers, it just ends up getting chucked in the pile and then forgotten about. But that, my friends, isn't going to help you revise. In that case, it's no point doing these past papers. So, how do you improve on that? Once you've done a past paper, go through it after it's been marked by a teacher, if it's been marked by a teacher. If not, mark it yourself, because that will help you understand what you got wrong and what you should have been doing to progress and actually get the full marks. That's half the thing with these exams. For English, for an example, you can write the best essay ever and not get marks for it because you need to tick those check boxes. You need to have quotations, you need to have reference to language techniques, structural form, and writers' opinions, viewpoints, and the effect on the reader. And if you don't have all of that, you can't get all your marks, which is really harsh in the new GCSE system, but that's just the way it is. Brilliant past papers. There's absolutely blooming millions of them on the internet, so I would definitely recommend printing out a few past papers. But obviously, you've only got a week until chemistry and biology exams. Scary, I know. So what do you do in that instance? Obviously, you can't go through 3 past papers of biology in the next week, as well as chemistry and your French exams. So what do? Well, you print out an exam, you flick through it. On the big, 6-mark questions, these are the big ones. So if you don't know the topic, or you don't know how to get the full 6 marks, it's going to knock your grade down quite a bit. So what you want to do is you find the questions you struggle on and try and do them. And if you can't do them, go on the internet, watch YouTube clips, look at these lovely books, which if you don't have yourself, school will definitely have them. So you've got revision books, so that's the actual guide with all the information all about biology. I know it's really fun stuff I'm talking about. And then you've got question and answer book, which is what I'm talking about, the past papers. This is sort of the same thing, but just confined in the book. And if you can't get a whole page answered like there, if it looks like that at the end of it, and you just looked at it and go, nah, I don't know it, don't just close the book and leave it. Or what some people do, just go on to another topic that they do know. Because anyone can find a bit of a subject they know really well and write it all out and get really correct answers. That's fine. But it's not helping you revise. So what you need to do is do the questions you don't like, because it means you're not as good in them. There's gonna be a lot of the content you've covered you just remember. After going through it for so many years, you just know off the top of your head, so it's pointless covering them. You need to cover the bits you don't like doing. Which is hard, I know, because why would you want to put yourself through that? But I'm going to tell you this, if you don't start putting through yourself now, you've only got 2 weeks left. So, is it really worth it? No, I don't think it is. So, once you've gone through it, you've gone through the bits you don't like, and actually answered it, you then need to check it off with the mark scheme. And once you got it off with the mark scheme, you can have a mark scheme next to you, and you can have what you've done next to you. For example, this, which is lovely chemistry covalent molecules. So once you've marked it, you then want to highlight the bits you've done well and the bits you really haven't done well. And then what you do is you get a sheet of paper with all the topics on it. Yeah. So this, for example, this is maths. You've got paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, and you've got all the topics individually lined out. So you know exactly what you've got in each exam so that you can maximise and efficientified, I don't think that's quite a word, but made your revision most efficient for that exam. It's no point me revising maths, just all 3 exams, today, for example, because before half term, which half term is another thing I'm going to come on to and how important that is in a minute, but before half term I just have this maths exam. So I can forget that for now, yeah? Completely forget that. Because I only need to worry about paper 4. So what I can do with this, as I've got 2 weeks until the actual paper 4, you can go through and check off everything I know off by heart. It's like I'm saying earlier, like using a calculator. It's one of those things I can do that. Some of the stuff when it comes to sine and cosine rules, I'm not so good on. So that stuff I'll highlight, and then that's the stuff I can focus on. There is no point whatsoever in anyone looking at all of this and going through one by one by one by one. It's just wasting your time. I don't have time to cover 20, 30 topics of revision just for one subject because, like I was saying earlier, I have 20 plus exams. Another really, really useful thing to absolutely maximise your revision time is simplifying your exam timetable, because everyone will have an exam timetable, every exam happening at the day, what time, bloody blah, 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 what exam board. It's not really relevant to you as long as you know what day it is and what exam you're taking. That's absolutely fine. So for the 4 weeks of GCSE, 5 for some people who are taking extra maths or Latin or something. You have week 1, week 2, you then have a lovely week off, which will be a nice 9 days off, and then you've got week 3 and week 4. So, for now, as you've only got a week until the start of it, you ignore week 3 and week 4. So you just have week 1 and week 2. Yeah? So then you actually have to physically look at what you've got on that week. For example, for my case, I've got French reading, French listening, French writing, biology paper 1, and chemistry paper 2. Which sounds like quite a lot, but luckily, I've got Monday off, Wednesday off, Monday and Wednesday off, which is good. Thursday and Friday evenings off. So when you split it down to that, you've got lots and lots of sessions during your exam time to get revision in. So you need to focus your time on what you do not know and what you struggle with and what you find hard to do. Another thing, because lots of people get stressed out about exams. Yes, this is scary. Having 20 exams is intimidating and is scary, but what you don't understand is you've done it all before. Whenever you had your mocks, whether you had them in January, December, even before that in November or February, some people had their mocks at different times. When you had your mocks, it's exactly the same as this. And for the majority of most schools, you have even less time than this. You had all these exams in 2 weeks, not 4 weeks. So it gives you so much extra time to space them out. It gives you a whole day or half a day slots to revise in between exams. What I would recommend, however, is if there is a topic that you don't understand completely, go over it. Don't worry about covering the whole subject, just go over that one topic, even if it means that it mucks up your revision timetable. If there's something you don't understand, the most important thing you can do is A, recognise that you can't understand it, and B, do something about it. You need to go home, look through your textbooks, get a cup of tea, have a biscuit, relax, get in a gentle, quiet mood, and just look through it calmly. The worst thing you can do in the next couple of weeks is stress. It's going to be hard not to. You're going to have times you're going to be really stressed out, really frustrated. You might come out of an exam and think, oh God, no, I got it all wrong. but you need to stay calm, you need to stay relaxed. And how you do that is do small, beneficial chunks of revision on the topics you need to do. So look at your mock grades. Think, are you happy with it? If you are, that's absolutely brilliant. Just keep going and you'll be fine. If you want to boost it up by a grade or a 2 grade, now is your chance to look through your mock paper, see exactly where you went wrong, highlight the bits you did good, because it's always good to actually look at the bits you did good, so in the real thing, you don't forget about all the things you did get good and get marked well on. And then look at what you didn't do so well. Get a mark scheme. All the mark schemes will be on AQA website or whoever you're doing it with, OCR, etc. Then you need to look through it. And if you want, re-answer the questions you did badly in. Because that is going to give you the most help possible before your GCSE examinations. Now hopefully, with a bit of work on the topics that you don't know, you can boost that grade up again. For anyone, getting a grade higher than your predicted grades should be and will be an amazing feeling. But as long as you spend a short period of time, but a beneficial short period of time, on your chosen subject, or subjects of an evening if you want. But don't say, right, I'm doing all of paper 4 maths tonight. Because it's not going to happen. Say I'm going to cover quadratics and surds and indices. That's coverable. If you think, right, I've got quadratics, surds and indices, let's put an hour on that. You've got 20 minutes for each subject. 20 minutes, you've got 10 minutes revising it. You've got 5 minutes answering some questions on it. And then you've got 5 minutes checking and correcting your answers, which is plenty of time. And by the time you've done that, you will know it. And if you don't, what you do is the same 3 topics, the night after or the night after that, you then do the exactly same questions or similar questions again to infer that into your head. And that way, you will have ticked off 3 topics. Don't write more than you have to, because it's just wasting time. And make sure at the end of every exam, you check through your paper. Because all throughout my mocks, all throughout all of these lovely things, and these things are worse, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Sort of silly mistakes that you don't want to do in your exam, and some exams you can't afford to do that. That will knock you down a whole grade. So it's these silly errors you need to watch out for. You really need to go back over your exam paper and actually re-answer the questions again. I know it sounds absolutely stupid, but if you've got the time, re-answer it. Don't just skim it, because if you just skim it, it'll look roughly right. You're like, yeah, that's fine. It won't be. Trust me. So you need to have a rough idea. You need to look at a question. For example, how does Shakespeare portray love in Romeo and Juliet? You need to have, when you read that, you need to instantly think a few characters, a few quotes, and roughly the structure of your answer, your essay response. And if you can do that, it's going to speed up a lot of time. It means you won't you won't start writing a paragraph and then cross it out, because you don't really have time to do that. So really, time management is an amazing thing and a really important thing that you need to be doing in all of your exams, no matter what it is. How I like to revise, take today for example, I've been out for the whole day. I've been at Thorpe Park all day today. I took my GoPro, I got a bit of videoing. And that's a day activity. So for some people they're thinking, but why weren't you sitting down for 8 hours looking at a textbook? My response is because it's not beneficial for me to do 2 humongous physics past papers, because at the end of the day, hopefully by now I should know how to answer 50% of it without actually looking at it. So what I can do is go to Thorpe Park all day. It's fine, the videoing's distracting me. Get back home, have a new past paper, or one I've already done, and one that's been marked. Just flick through it and see what I got wrong, and try and answer it. And if I can't answer it, what I need to do is I need to get out my textbook, let's get out my exercise book, I need to look at clips on YouTube, I find the topic, read over it, I read over it again, and I answer some of the questions at the bottom of the book. How easy is that? And then hopefully I should know it. And if I come back to the same question again tomorrow, and I look over it and I don't know it again, I can redo the same process. And that way, something is going to go in. There is no way on earth if you cover something twice, or cover something 3 times, and you do it properly, step by step, you look over it, you do a question, you mark the question. If you've done that a few times now, you should definitely know. If you're saying to yourself, right, I'm doing 1 hour tonight, I'm covering 3 bullet points on my maths checklist, I'm 1 hour, that's fine. But make sure you cover it for that 1 hour. That means none of this, no phones, no computers. You need to be sitting on your own preferably, or if you want an adult to help you, or someone else to help you, that's absolutely fine, but try not to get distracted. And what you need to do is sit down, music on if that's alright, but some people get distracted by music, so maybe not music. You need to be comfy, you need to be warm enough, you get a blanket around you if you want to, if that's your sort of thing. And you just need to focus, you need to look at the question, and just go over it. Now that's the reason, like today I went to Thorpe Park, well not the only reason I wanted to go to Thorpe Park obviously, but it's a relaxing getaway. Each day you should be doing something to get out of the house and away from revision, just forget about it, clearing your mind and getting some fresh air. So I hope some of those techniques have actually been useful for you, because that's how my brain works. And a lot of people I find get really, really stressed out because they don't have some of these techniques. So that's all I've got for you guys. I do really, really wish you guys luck in these exams. They are going to be hard, they are going to be challenging, but it's nothing you've not seen before. Nothing, absolutely nothing you guys should be worried about. Just keep working. Short, efficient periods of revision. They're going to be scattered every day. You need to be doing some little bit of revision. And you need to be making sure you're learning something. Don't cover something that you already know. Cover little bits of stuff that you don't know and actually learn it. Revise it, do a question on it, mark that question, come back to it the next day. That way, you'll get the highest grade possible. I assure you of that. From now on, no one's going to be telling you what to revise. That's the one thing that is unfortunate. And you're not necessarily going to have the one-to-one support you might have been having in lessons or general help. No one's going to be giving you any more past papers if you're on study leave. So it's up to you to start learning, continue learning stuff for your GCSEs. And just think, you will have 3 beautiful months to party, to burn all these, which by the way is hint hint to one of my next coming videos, is there's not long left. You would have finished your exams by end of June, and good luck. Keep on going. I hope this video has been helpful for you guys with some useful tips. So if it has been helpful and you have enjoyed the video, please leave a like on the video, and if you haven't subscribed already, please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.